All right, pickleballers, welcome to Tennis Sucks. Generally I would start off ripping Graham, but I'm going to start today with letting you know that he won a bronze medal this past weekend in Daytona. We practiced the day after he wore the bronze medal during practice and told me that if I apply myself, I can one day get one too. That getting sixth is really subpar. And one more compliment for him, a much bigger one. You see that we're decked out today in these beautiful shirts. Graham did introduce me to this brand, Sunday Swagger. And while I wear it much better than him, I'm very grateful to him for introducing me to it. And they are now a sponsor of mine. So hoping that relationship will build. And Graham, thank you once again for introducing me to the brand. And of course, as you stated, everything else in my life that has any value.
Wow. I can't believe this is happening. You're welcome.
Yeah, if we go back, it's like a year ago, I was not having any good times, we'll say. Divorced, still teaching tennis, and all those things are no longer a part of my life. Well, the divorce is still going. But other than that, it's pickleball, Sunday Swagger, and quite a few good times. So, yeah, life's a lot better, and Graham takes all the credit for that. And he deserves some.
Like, how much credit do you give to a third place medal at a PPA?
How much credit do I give myself?
No. Like, if you see like a guy like me, are you like...
Guy like me and a girl like you?
Are you like, oh, that's impressive? You're like, that's such garbage.
For you getting third?
Yeah.
No, I think it was a really, really, really good win. And you actually had an exceptional partner who played great. You were right side demon the whole time. Just, and I will tell you this. I told this Graham after. Because he told me his legs were dead, which is baffling. I have never seen anyone move less on a pickleball court in my life. The guy just stomps his feet down, and then there's no steps. Can classify it as efficient or lazy. I'm not sure which one it is, but I guarantee you that no one's ever won a bronze and taken less steps ever.
Efficiency.
Also,
keep in mind, I was double the age of every other person I played, and I think I might be the oldest ever medalist in 19 plus at a PPA.
Well, congratulations.
Set the new record.
Congratulations.
All right. Speaking of PPA, we're going to recap.
Yeah, let's recap.
A lot of tournaments since the last time we were on.
Correct.
Right?
So let's start with, Arizona Desert Ridge, which I guess we can do real quick, which was pretty standard. Ben and Anna lead, both Triple Crown. So not really too much to report there. But then it went to Minnesota, which was just crazy because a lot of us couldn't go due to flights and the snowstorm. And that's where we saw the great Papa Jimmy have his breakout, winning 2 gold medals. James Ignatovich won mixed with Catherine Parenteau, and singles beating J.W. Johnson in the final. And then didn't do so well in dubs, played with Collin Johns. I think they went 1-2. So other than that, he had a really, really good result. And I think he's establishing himself as a real threat in all divisions. Oh, and then, on Minnesota, probably the most interesting aspect, actually, of Minnesota was the fact that Papa Jimmy played Anna Bright and Riley Newman in the semis. And I've never seen Anna so pissed after a loss in my life. Like, she literally looked pissed. And for those of you who don't know, they date. They've been dating for a long time, Anna and James. And after that match, she decided that the relationship could not handle them playing against one another anymore, that it was beneficial for them to play together, and she dropped Riley as a partner, I believe, is what I know to be true. And I'm not going to state it as fact because I don't want to get in trouble, but I know she's now playing with James exclusively, and I believe it's because
I think she came out publicly about it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Just didn't want another one where one got mad. But so she dropped Riley for James.
What you and I both said is...
I mean, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Like, I think that's a hard dynamic to play someone that you are going to bed with that night in those kinds of matches. It's difficult. Now, surely, from a playing perspective, like just on numbers, Riley, of course, has established himself as probably the second best mixed player in the world. So, yeah, probably not a great decision in that regard. But, could they improve a lot and keep getting better and be a really good team? And is that fun to play with your significant other? Probably. Not a lot of us get to do that. So, more power to them.
Yeah. I thought the funniest thing I saw was James, for her birthday, got her a hat of himself on it.
James Ignatovich Pickleball.
And she would wear it to all the events. And then after that match, the following day when she was playing, the hat disappeared.
Yeah.
And we were all like, ooh.
No, I thought it was like a joke after the match, but she was legitimately pissed.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
real quick, we got to talk about DJ Young, the paddle throw.
Oh, that's
because, it's unprecedented in pickleball. And apparently he did get fined by the PPA. His paddle, he threw it. It's a carbon 1X that's foam's forming, so it didn't break. It just snapped up and went into the crowd. And either did or was close to hitting some people. So they did fine him. Nobody knows what the amount is. It's an undisclosed amount, but it sets a new precedent because in tennis this is very, very common. If you hit anybody in the crowd, you're automatically defaulted. You lose your prize money. You have a substantial fine. And of course, now with all the money that's getting into PPA, you're gonna be on a much tighter leash than you've been in the past.
I heard Zane on his podcast. Who is that? Is that Thomas Shields and Zane?
Yes.
They were talking about the fine, and he thinks the fine is probably like $1.
Well, he said less than $100.
Less than $100. And he's right. His thinking process there is right.
I think it's like $1,000, but either way, I don't think it's something that's like really a huge deterrent.
Well, now they're gonna have to set the deterrent. But he said it right. Is basically they didn't have anything in their contract that talked about fines. So now they've got to establish that, and they'd be in trouble if they fined them a bunch of money. And then they've got to make the fines so that they make sense for the amount of money the players are making.
Correct.
So if an NBA player is making $50 million a year, and you fine them $50,000, that makes sense. But if a pickleball player is making $150,000 a year, then you've got to find the appropriate amount.
Correct.
That is equivalent to the same type of fine.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think anyone got hit.
No, I think it just went into the crowd.
It went in the crowd. A guy in the back row caught it.
Yeah, I don't think it harmed anyone. That's for sure.
No. But yeah, I bet he's right on par with $1 or something very nominal.
Okay, so we'll lead into Daytona this past weekend.
Yep.
Which once again, 5-0, 19 plus, bronze medalist to my left. And that was an interesting one because we had a couple surprises. This Collin Shick dude went from the qualies at 7 a.m., played at NC State. Very raw, like literally has some skills in pickleball that are standard inside, essentially like a flick volley, a roll, especially on the men's side. Doesn't really have it yet. Like plays very conventional tennis style volleys. It's a lot of drop volleys, but the dude is lightning quick, hits these crazy passes, and the backhand is just dirty. He holds it, he flicks it late. So, he's definitely a new guy to watch for that's going to be very good, especially on the singles side right away. And if he learns a flick out of the air, damn, he's disgusting. And then you had Parenteau, like it was her coming out, essentially. She won Minnesota in singles. Then she beat Anna Lee here. Played great, phenomenal. It was really crafty. Made finals with Tyson in the mixed. They played phenomenal, crushed the Johnsons in the semis, and then actually pickled them second game. And then she won doubles with Anna Lee. And I think they actually lost like the fewest points ever that I've seen. They were at like 11 points leading into the, lost 11 points, I believe, going into the final. So, not the steepest challenge for them, but man, they played great. And then, had the Johns brothers win again. They haven't lost all year. They've won 4 tournaments, all 4 tournaments they played together. And, Collin's little algorithm is proving to be very difficult to crack.
So on those points with Collin Shick first, what I heard is he's a medical student. I think pre-med, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Pre-med, and they asked him, well, are you going to think twice about, not being a medical student and going, and he said no. He's going to stick with the medical path he's on. But that's so far. If he has a couple more of those, he might rethink it, Yeah,
it's unfortunate because he's really, really fun to watch. Does things in a very kind of unique fashion. I haven't seen somebody play singles the way that he does.
Where's he go to college? UNC?
And he went to NC State.
Oh, NC State. That's a good tennis school.
It's a very high level, D1 college.
And he plays D1 tennis for them, I think.
Yes,
right?
he did. And I don't know his tennis stats. I probably should have done a little recon before, but I assume just by watching him play and move, he was probably relatively decent. But yeah,
And
then I think NC State's generally like a perennial top 25 school, so a good school.
Yeah.
A good tennis school.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. Like, look, the guy's obviously a very, very good tennis player, but, I was having this conversation. Like, imagine if an Alcaraz type or a Mumfee started playing. You know, like if Schick's challenging those guys, beating the majority of these guys, and he plays as little as he does, you get these real beasts in there. Man, it's lights out.
And then with Catherine, what do you think is the reasoning that suddenly she's having like this crazy resurgence in wins, like getting these upsets?
I mean, I think it's a couple things. One, I'm actually going to give props to the trainer that comes at her, Connor. I think she's been working with him for 6 months, and I think she's moving really well. She's obviously taking her fitness, her preparation very seriously. They seem to have a really good rapport and a good program working together, and that can go a really long way. When you're putting in the time like that off the court with someone who's really knowledgeable and really dedicated, it can have a substantial impact on not only your play, but kind of your mental state, that you just feel like you've done the work, you earned it, you deserve to win. And to me, she's kind of got that look of a player that feels like she should be winning and she deserves to win.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's necessarily anything in her play. I think it's more just that she is reaping the rewards for the effort that she has put in.
Yeah, because now to think back on it, she won Nationals gold. She won MLP. I mean, she's like just cranking right now.
Yeah, she got 6th in Arizona mixed. She ran into a buzzsaw there. Didn't catch it. 15-4. 15-4.
Oh, I caught it.
Catherine and Julian, sorry guys, but you played great in that match too. I've never seen you play better. I played okay.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes me, now that I'm thinking more and more on it.
Can we just, I have to add this too. Can we just add, I did pickle Julian Arnold in singles too. I gotta throw that in there.
It's his proudest moment.
It's my proudest moment. I've been saying it to everybody. People have actually been coming up to me, Julian. So you got me, you smoked me at MLP. Good for you, but pickle, bro. Pickle.
Julian, I'm going to apologize right now. You're going to probably have to hear about that every time you see Travis.
I'm going to give it a couple more months to let it sink in more.
You better pickle him back. That's probably what you're going to have to do to make it go away.
Yeah, it still won't go away.
All right, well, that's a good run into, I was going to say is, now that I think about it, Mad Drops is on a tear in general.
Yes.
I think that winning MLP does something. There's a positive fallout after MLP victory.
Of course.
Just the confidence. I think
confidence and
the money probably makes you feel a little more secure, a little less pressure, bigger confidence.
Yeah, and I think, there's so much pressure in MLP. It's a different kind of feeling that all the matches are so close due to the format and just the pressure of the situation as well. So then when you win that, you feel like you've kind of come through those really intense high pressure moments. And I think that suddenly you feel like even when you're at a PPA and it's a really tight moment that you're gonna come through. You have that sense that you're gonna win, not that you're gonna screw up or fail.
Yeah, because Catherine's playing great. I feel like Julian's playing well. I feel like Thomas Wilson is playing well.
For sure.
I haven't seen Irina. Is she playing?
I haven't seen her either.
That's strange.
I'm not sure what's going on.
She might be traveling.
Possible.
Teaching somewhere overseas.
Very possible.
But, okay, so let's talk about then upcoming next week. It's a week away now, which is wild. Today's Tuesday, and you'll be there Tuesday.
I'll be there in a
You're
week.
7 days away
Yeah,
from
I'm leaving Tuesday morning.
All right, so let's talk about the good news we found out. Our pool. We somehow feel like we got one of the better pools
We feel
of the
like
three.
we're in a good pool. And with that said, every team is very good. There's nothing that you can guarantee, but we feel like, we got a good pool, which is ourselves, the Florida Smash, the St. Louis Shock, ATX Pickleballers, and then the defending champion Mad Drops. ATX Pickleballers is JW, Gabriel Tardio, and the Kawamoto sisters, so that's a pretty strong team. Then the Shock is Eric Lang, Jay DeVilliers, Elise Jones, and Simone Jargim. So I think that we have
And we actually play them
one.
first. We play them at noon on Friday on championship court. That's another great thing. We got championship court for both our first matches, which we haven't had.
Yeah, I think last time we were on Grandstand for our first two.
I think all of our MLP
Really?
debuts, Florida Smash, have been Grandstand. So this is pretty exciting that we're
That's
getting
good.
2 championships in a row.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting some cred.
Well, it's our home court. We got to show
That's probably
out.
why.
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Like, I didn't love the venue personally when I was there this past
That's
week.
funny you say that. Me either. Everyone talks so great about it.
Everyone talks so great
Tell
about
me why
it.
you didn't like it. I didn't love it either.
I don't know. Just didn't. I didn't.
So it's Pictona. It's in Holly Hill, which is basically Daytona Beach.
Yeah, one, I'm not a huge fan of the area. It's okay, but there was bike week this past week, so it was chaos, just so many people. So maybe that kind of led to me being disgruntled. Like, we had a very, very average hotel room for $470 a night.
How about mine, which was as expensive for more, bed and breakfast. They had a bike week rock concert inside, because it was raining. It was just on the front porch. It was inside, below our room. Our walls were shaking till after 2 a.m.
Yeah, so it was a ton of courts, not a ton of shade. Just kind of felt like uncomfortable. It never felt like you're walking into, like, Columbus was still, I loved it. It was just, Legacy was great too, but Columbus was awesome. Like, you just felt at ease. Kind of goes back to that, should these events be indoors? Columbus was indoors. But, yeah, I don't know. Just a ton of courts. That didn't really feel like it was homey, I guess would be the right word, or didn't really feel like, I don't know, right when you walk into the Columbus venue, for instance, like, you knew you're at MLP, like, it's there, I don't know. It was windy. I just didn't love it. I felt just didn't love it.
The venue, to me, this is the reasons I didn't love it.
Yeah, go
it's
ahead,
a lot
tell
of
me.
permanent courts,
Yes.
which is nice.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Right? No temp
the
nets,
courts are
and there's
great.
like 40
Yeah.
or something. There's a lot. Maybe 50.
I think it's 44, yeah.
44. But it feels like the facility was piecemealed. Like, you walk in, you're like, okay, they built these courts first, and then they were like, a year or two later, hey, we're going to add some more here.
Right.
We're going to add some more here. Like, the project isn't cohesive and doesn't have that feeling, so you feel like you're walking through, like, different ideas in each section.
Yeah, I guess that's
the homey feeling you're talking about.
That's a good. It's segmented, right?
Like,
It's just,
it's segmented. It's not inviting.
No, there you go. That's the right word. It's not inviting, and so I'm going to be really interested to see what it looks like for MLP, because, if you just go only to that center court region and you just went right there, that's pretty good. They have like a building above that has some booths, and it's really nice. They got some nice stands.
Oh, yeah.
But I just hope that they have.
I didn't go in that booth. Tell me about that booth. It was like skyboxes?
Yeah, they're like little skyboxes
That's
up top.
so cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't see that part.
Right, that's nice. So if they have good food in there and
really?
they have drinks and people are social and they can literally make it just about that particular segment of the venue, it might change my mind.
Do they have TVs in those rooms that are showing the match going on in center court?
No, they
that would have
did
been
not.
nice.
That would have been nice. They had only one TV in the players' lounge that I saw, but I'm sure they can hook them up. It's just a matter of what they're going to do, what they decide to do.
Yeah. And the other problem that I heard from a lot of players is grandstand court has a lighting issue. So this happens in a lot of covered courts where the light diffuses through.
Right.
And depending on what time of day it is and where you're looking, you actually can't see the ball as it travels across the net or through the shadows.
Correct. Yeah, there's a glare.
I could see the shadows on this court throughout the day. I'm thinking, wow, that's tough. And they're playing their second best matches on those courts throughout the day.
Right. Yeah, no, it was really difficult. I only warmed up on that court and actually hit a ball against DJ, and he was like swinging at it like a fly swatter. He had no idea where the ball was. And I asked him, he's like, I never saw it. And then I can attest, it's very, very difficult to see. So hopefully, like Graham said, they can tarp it or do something, or else the quality of play on that court is going to be a little sketch.
Yeah, MLP, if someone hears this that has the authority, look into the grandstand court at Daytona. It's not good visually. If we can move the court at this late in the date, or I don't know, get some screens or tarps to block that sun coming through. All right, Rowan, defer to you. It's been a while. And by the way, Rowan, I want to say, couple props for Rowan here.
Go for it.
In Daytona, I had at least a handful of people between 6 and 12, and they're mostly young, nerdy guys. I think that's why they're talking to me, because I don't know.
That sounds
said
right.
They loved Tennis Pod.
Awesome.
And specifically a couple times how
Producer
funny
Rowe.
Rowan is again. And people love Producer Rowe.
I do love Producer Rowe. And
One was retelling me the story about his knee pads, and I'm like, yeah, man, I know. I told the story. I don't need to hear it again. But he had to tell me one more time about Rowan's knee pads playing singles at PPA tournaments.
Well, that's great to hear that people care a little bit,
Yeah,
about,
they're definitely gravitating towards it. The
all
Collin
the stars.
John's promo video has gotten a lot of love. The bookcase. So
yeah.
doing a great job there.
Yeah, that was a great story. I'm glad he told that while the mics were on, and not. But yeah, let's go into cheating, line calls, and the PEDs and paddle thing.
So this one's really interesting because cheating is becoming. I don't think it's any more prevalent than it was. Maybe it is a little bit, but I obviously wasn't in pickleball until about 12 months ago, and there's definitely a lot of really, really fair good players out there, but there are some that are just so egregious in their cheating. Now, I've seen calls a foot in that people are calling out, and it's getting to a point where they got to do something.
But they're doing that on purpose, right? To
they're doing it on purpose.
To mess with you psychologically.
Sure,
right?
they can do it to mess with you psychologically, but if they cheat me at 10-10, they're doing more than doing it psychologically.
They want to do it to win.
They're doing it to win.
Yeah.
And no, they're doing it to win.
Yeah.
And what Zane has said that's really interesting is the rules do not deter you from cheating in any way, right? So even at MLP, if you call a ball out and I challenge it and I'm wrong, I lose my timeout. But if you are wrong, you don't lose anything. You just lose the point. So there's no deterrent for you to not call every ball out over and over and over and over and over. So you have to adjust that where it's like if you make a bad call and I challenge it, not only do you lose that point, but you lose your timeout.
They've talked about this, and I think they're doing it differently for Daytona.
I'm sure they're going to continue to adjust it.
But yeah, they're basically making it now where if you're overturned more than a couple times, you start losing points.
You have to.
And so it works both ways, and they think that'll cut back, which it will, because especially in team format, we talked about this before, in team format, your own teammates are going to say, no, man, that was in. I don't want to lose a point. I don't want to lose a challenge. Let's not challenge that. Or
Speaking of the juice, another form of cheating that's being discussed in pickleball is performance-enhancing drugs, and PEDs have become. There's no testing in pickleball as of now, and will there be? Sure, I'm sure it's coming. As more and more money gets into the sport, I think what a few of these players don't understand is how much money it is for a tour to test the players and do it in a fashion that is fair. And you have to hire, what is it? What's the governing body the
Drug administration?
Yeah, no, it's not the DEA.
No clue.
That's for sure. But there's I forget what it's called. But anyway, to come in and drug test all the players on a consistent basis, let's say randomly 6 times a year, is a huge expense. So I don't know if that's there yet. But
same thing with the line calling. We were talking about how Hawkeye is an option, but people don't understand it's expensive.
Yeah, Hawkeye's 50 G's a court. I'm not sure if it's mobile or not.
And that's per event, or just you get it once and you have it for the whole
I don't
lifetime?
know. I've actually written them trying to figure that out for.
Oh, really?
Yep. For MLP, they did not get back to me, so I was not happy about that. But,
Who's they? Hawkeye?
Hawkeye, yeah.
Oh.
Literally wrote them emails.
You got a lot of pull there on it with Hawkeye.
Clearly, they're stoked. They're stoked. That owner of MLP really went a long way on that one. They're like, ML what? But anyway, yeah. So how you're going to deter people from cheating in various ways, unfortunately, I think is going to take a while because the rules have to catch up, the technology has to catch up, and ultimately the money that the tour has to catch up on both sides.
Agreed. Yeah.
Graham, I know you were saying that you don't really think there's an argument here, but I'd be curious, Trav, especially with the PEDs and the illegal paddles, which do you think provides the greater advantage?
The paddles is by far a bigger advantage. I mean, let's be honest. Like, if you're taking steroids and playing doubles, PPA, like, the best guy in the world is Ben and Collin Johns. I would stake my life that neither of those guys is juicing. Particularly
Not Collin
Collin.
Johns? No?
Particularly Collin.
He could be. Like, he's fast, man. I don't think you've seen him sprint.
But the point is there's not a huge advantage to it. We're not hitting home runs here. Maybe in the singles you could make the case, like, yeah, there's an advantage there. You're fitter, you're stronger, maybe you're hitting the ball a little bit harder, something along those lines. But for the most part, I think the advantage is minimal. Now, on the other hand, the paddles that are out, the Legacy, the Carbon 1X that are, just ball comes off 25 miles an hour faster. You're talking about a 30% probably improvement in the speed of the ball. Yeah, that's a problem. And the dwell time that these paddles create, which is a word that's being used a lot, and rightfully so, which is how long the ball stays on the paddle. So if you have a paddle that has this incredible dwell time where it creates a trampoline effect and is super gritty, the ball is rotating astronomically more than I can rotate the ball with my paddle, and you get more power, yeah, that's an enormous advantage. It's a disgusting advantage. And I've played against people that use those paddles, and I got to be honest, not too much really pisses me off in the game. That pisses me off. Because when you see a guy swinging at a forehand and it's going, like I said, let's say 20 miles an hour faster than you can hit a forehand, and you know you're swinging the same speed, it's frustrating. It's kind of ridiculous. And I even played a match where I played one of these guys, and he tagged me from the baseline with a forehand, with a pickleball, okay? With a pickleball. That's never happened in my life. It's not happened. And now suddenly you're having to completely alter the way you play the game, because if the ball goes up even a little bit, it's night-night. The ball is going so fast.
You can see it on Thomas Wilson is a great example, or DJ Young. But DJ Young's always hit a big ball like that. But yeah, even more so now.
No, now it's ridiculous, you know. And there's, of course, there's a slight downside. Like the ball pops off periodically and it's hard to control. But my God, the advantages far outweigh that. And
like Julian gets out of the way so that Thomas can hit the overhead.
Of course he does.
Because he knows an overhead from Thomas is pretty
and
is
Julian
over.
snaps the hell out of it. He's got a great overhead.
He gives way now to Thomas hitting
as
overheads.
He should.
I don't want to keep bringing up my bronze medal run, but our one loss was against two guys with the Carbon 1X, and I had never had this experience, but the first 3 or 4 drives from the big guy on their team, I had real problems with. Like,
it's difficult.
Yeah. It was dropping a foot or two, and he was crushing it, and I was like, I kept deciding, like, oh, is it going out? Do I get out of the way? And there wasn't enough time to figure out I got out of the way. And
because it bites, too.
Because it bites on top of it, yeah.
So speaking of paddles, how about the Rafa against Zane, where he contests Zane's paddle at the end of the match? Zane gets super pissed, drops the paddle, which I did find out if you ask to contest a paddle, it's $250 if you're wrong.
It costs you.
It costs money.
Oh, so Rafa had to pay
$500 because he did 2 of them.
Oh, who else did he do?
Well, he did 2 of Zane's.
No.
Yeah, that one and the one in his bag.
Well, they truly believed it.
He believed it.
Hey, but it came out that they passed, correct?
Yeah, they passed. But, I mean, let's be honest. That system, who knows?
Yeah.
Like, that paddle, nothing against it, but that's a gritty-ass paddle. Like, Zane's creating a lot of
If you ever want to
challenge,
I'll pay for it. I want to see some more challenging.
All right.
I want to challenge the Legacy
Pro. I'm going to challenge the shit out of everything down.
All right.
He's going to
definitely
50 next one.
Please don't challenge the Gamma 405. I know
I'm going to challenge the Adidas.
Don't challenge
because
the
Adidas. As we know, Rafa won 2 points or 3 points. That thing needs to be challenged to never make an appearance ever again.
Okay, don't be an ass.
No shit, it's going to pass.
I want to see some, real paddles getting tested here.
But with that said, Rafa, you actually played good in the doubles. Again, you ran into a buzzsaw in the back draw.
Oh, my God.
Austin Chikailov.
You notice this buzzsaw is always in the back draw? What happened to that buzzsaw in the winner's bracket?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He comes alive in consolation.
I'm a really good consolation player. Top shelf consolation player.
Speaking of, you didn't talk about Daytona and your men's buzzsawing.
Yeah, buzzsawed the hell out of that.
Come on, you had the Amazon as your partner.
I had the Amazon man, yeah. No, I got to play with Austin Chikailov, my local St. Pete brethren, and he filled in for Steve Deacon, who got injured. We won our first match against Nunnery DeHart, which had some fireworks, and then we lost to JW and Dylan, who are just too good. In order to win some points, I started lobbing Dylan every point. If you ever play Dylan, overhead is sus. And then we went on a little tear. I think we won like 4 or 5 matches in the back draw, beat Tardio and Rafa at one point, lost in the 5th, 6th playoff to DeVilliers and Diescu. And I got to say, it was the most fun I've had playing pickleball all year.
Oh, really?
Oh, without question.
Austin?
So fun to play with.
That's good.
Yeah. Could not be more fun to play with. Guys, super positive.
And he played well, right?
He played great. I think for the experience level that he has, he performed fantastic. We were up 13-11-2 against DeVilliers and Diescu, and I think that was maybe the first moment you saw him get a little tight. I think in the hand speed, he was a little outmatched with JW and Dylan, but I don't think he'd ever seen that before. He's probably like, shit, ball's coming fast. These guys attack a lot. And I think Austin's getting to that realization now that as he gets better, he's going to have to use his length more and be more aggressive, because that's how the game goes. Guys are just so aggressive now.
I wish I could have seen more of your 6th place run, but I was busy getting my bronze medal all day too, so I didn't get to see many of the matches.
I understand.
Yeah. But
yeah, Django played great.
You didn't see anything. You don't know what Django did or didn't do.
I saw one game, and Django looked great against Beanie E and some other dude.
You're such a hater, man. Hey, I beat Kuzmiter.
Dude,
mark that down.
I would look. No one. First of all, don't say I'm a hater. When I walked up and you were playing your bronze medal match, who was the loudest person?
Yeah, you were. I think you were yelling.
from 100 yards away.
Like,
Okay,
that guy's got no shot.
I was screaming for you, so don't even dare. And you know what? I was getting ready for another match, and someone came over, Nico. He was like, Graham's about to go on. I sprinted, and I was like, I gotta see him. Okay, I'm a way better friend and fan than you. Like, you've been so fucking suspect lately with your support. It's shocking.
I saw 2 of your matches this weekend.
Which ones?
I saw JW. And I saw your losses, basically.
Yeah, thank you. Great.
No, I saw the Dylan.
Yeah, and then
JW.
you took off before the fifth six. Biggest match of Austin's life. Bailed on him.
That's true.
What
I should have
happened to
stayed
you?
for that.
You should have. Probably would have won.
Yeah, you're probably right. And then I saw the Nunnery firework one with Nunnery and
yeah, that was not,
Ryler to Hart.
that was not fun.
Oh, last thing I want to bring up, maybe more, but we got to talk about Jorja, right? Has Jorja like found another level in her game lately, or?
Jorja, they beat Riley in Paris, Jorja and JW, and Jorja was incredible, man. Like she's gonna be hot and cold, I think, for a while. But talk about a girl who's aggressive and has no problem keeping the guy honest. She's the best at it. Maybe other than Anna Lee. Obviously, you got to give Anna Lee the top props. But Jorja attacks with the forehand from below the net, up the line, at the mail consistently, and comes out ahead. Riley and her went toe-to-toe time and time again, and I'm not going to say she got the better of him, but she got the better of him a lot. You know, she won a lot of those hands battles, a lot of those points. And
same thing with Ben. There was, I forget
that's
which one it was, right?
Yeah, same thing when they beat, JW and Jorja beat Ben at Legacy, Ben and Anna Lee at Legacy, and Jorja was the hero, man. Like, when it's time to play and it's crunch time, you want Jorja on your team.
She was such a good pickup for us.
Dude, she is not afraid.
She
is not afraid.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
All right.
Last thing, Nationals moving to Dallas. What have you guys heard? Good, bad? Are people pretty upset about it?
Really?
Yeah, they moved it.
No more Indian Wells.
They got rid of Indian Wells. Yeah, they moved it.
Because they partnered with the PPA.
Yeah, so
Right, I knew
Dallas
that
is the
part.
headquarters of the PPA.
Right.
And I think they, broke ties with Indian Wells, and they're doing it now in Dallas, the
Where in
headquarters
Dallas?
of PPA.
Do we know what the venue is, or we just know it's in Dallas?
My gut tells me the Dallas Pickleball Club.
Okay.
I haven't heard of it or been to it, but that would make sense to me. I feel like
And DPC, Dallas Pickleball Club, is an actual venue. They have
I would imagine.
a location.
I would imagine. If they don't have it, it's being built, and it's associated with the PPA and Tom Dundon and
Okay.
that
I
whole
mean,
group.
I'm not personally a huge fan of the city, but it's better for me, man. It's a lot less travel.
Yeah, that's true. But
So
playing Indian Wells is neat for people that
playing
aren't.
Indian Wells is neat, and then the problem with Dallas is it's cold as can be at that time of year.
Yeah.
Generally,
Maybe
it's
they're going
pretty
to change
chilly.
are they going to change the time of year? Do you know, Rowan? Do you know anything about this?
I don't. I just know that it's that they moved it to Dallas.
Got it.
That's all I've heard.
We'll do some research. We don't know much. We're talking out of our asses right
Yeah,
now.
that's very interesting. I was not aware of that. I knew that they had teamed up with the PPA, but I was not aware that it had moved to Dallas. So that's good information, Rowan. Thank you for throwing that in there. Let's see what we got. Yeah, let's just go. Did we talk death pool real fast?
Oh, we forgot. Yeah. So
Okay.
our pool we're happy with.
Yeah, our pool we're happy with. Obviously, mad drops are pretty nasty, but there's one pool that is just disgusting. It's the Hustlers who made the final, which is Tyson McGuffin, Anna Bright, Lacey Schneeman, who played great, just made finals this past weekend.
Oh yeah, she's playing
Played
really
great.
well. Yeah.
And then Rafa Hewitt. And then also in that pool is the Hard Eights, who now get Riley Newman back. So you got Riley, Kohler, Brasha, and the other Newman,
Lindsay.
And then the third good team is the Fives, which is Anna Lee's team with Ignatovich, Jansen, Anna Lee Waters, and Hayden Patrick.
Yeah.
Like, those are three teams that are disgusting. And then fourth, you have the Night Owls, who are not a bad team. It's Deckel, Kyle Yates, Lauren Stratman, and who's the fourth girl? Oh, Vivian David. So you got four on that squad that are four teams in there that are really dirty. And I mean, I think the Night Owls are a very, very, very good team. And in my opinion, I give them like a 10% chance to get out of that pool.
There's going to be
Maybe
at
less.
least one good team, two good teams knocked out from that, which is good for us. That's why we're liking our pool.
Sure.
I don't know that we are so excited about our competition. We're excited about how difficult the other pools are, and some good teams are not going to make it to the playoffs. That's what we're more excited about.
No,
Right?
I don't think about it like that.
You don't?
No, I don't look that far. I don't look that far
The fact
ahead.
that the Fives, either the Fives, the Hustlers.
No, I don't think about it like that, to be honest. It's not that there's so many great teams in there. Like, if let's say the two teams that get out of that pool are battle ready, they're playing great.
Yeah.
Like, It doesn't have any bearing on it for me.
Yeah.
All it is for us. I think it gives us a slightly better chance to get to the elimination rounds. And then the truth is like once you're in those elimination rounds, it's a free for all.
Yeah.
Like it's anybody's game. Who plays well at that moment? Who executes well under pressure? Who handles the pressure better? So
I think the Pioneers are the favorite in the third pool.
they are,
Yeah.
without question.
Yeah.
What is the third pool? It's the Pioneers. Do you know the other teams?
Yeah, I know the Smashers, Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee Smashers.
Who's left? Maybe Rowan knows.
Frisco Clean Cause.
Yep, Frisco Clean Cause didn't have a great run in the last one.
And then whom? I don't know what the fourth one is there.
Let's see. So we have Group A is Clean Cause, Bears, Mashers,
oh, the Bears,
and Pioneers.
BLQK
Okay,
Bears.
so yep. I'm gonna. So you got
Yeah, the Pioneers
the
are
Pioneers
the favorite
are a
in that one.
heavy favorite there, and then I would say probably the Bears second.
No, I would think the Smashers since they had a semifinal or a quarterfinal appearance in the last one.
Collin Shick, for an update, not much of a college tennis player.
Oh, really?
No.
Is it NC State?
Yeah, he's at NC State, but like barely plays. Like didn't even make the squad basically.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he was 60 in the country as a junior, which is okay. Yeah, it's like so to me that it just kind of shows more and more that when guys come over, it's going to be a different world, but it's not there yet. But it's coming. Because you're talking about a guy who was probably the 125th, 150th best college tennis player a year ago. What if we get the second best college tennis player from a year ago?
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Yeah.
Probably pretty damn good. Probably pretty fast too.
All right. Well, we got to give a shout out to Selkirk.
Yep. Selkirk, this podcast is powered by Selkirk, best paddles on the market. Very grateful to them for their support. And yeah.
And Sunday
Guys,
Swagger.
Sunday Swagger. Like I said, if it can make Graham look halfway decent and myself look whatever.
If you want to get noticed as much as Travis does when you're playing pickleball,
If you're that desperate,
get some Sunday Swagger.
get some swagger on you. Tennis sucks. One dude playing on the wall over there. Don't forget about him. He's having fun.
Thanks, Ron.
No, he's got a friend. All right. Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, guys.